He lost everything in one day. Imagine waking up one morning, reaching for your phone, still half asleep, expecting a normal day, maybe checking your messages, your emails, your bank balance. Just another routine moment. But instead, you see something that doesn't make sense. Numbers that shouldn't be there. Or worse, numbers that are no longer there at all. Everything you built, gone, not slowly, not over months or years, but in a single day. This is the story of Ethan, and how one decision erased everything. Ethan was the kind of person people admired. At 34, he had what most would call a stable, successful life. He wasn't a millionaire, but he had built something solid, a small but growing business, consistent income, and just enough comfort to feel like he had figured things out. He lived in a modest apartment in Chicago, drove a decent car, and had savings that gave him peace of mind. Nothing flashy, nothing extreme, just steady progress. And maybe that's what made it dangerous, because over time, something started to shift inside him, not overnight, not dramatically, just slowly. Confidence. At first, it was healthy. He trusted his decisions. He believed in his ability to grow. But then, confidence turned into certainty, and certainty turned into something else. Overconfidence. One evening, Ethan met his friend Oliver for dinner. Oliver had always been a bit more aggressive with money, bigger risks, bigger rewards. The kind of person who talked about opportunities more than security. That night, Oliver leaned in and said something that would change everything. There's an opportunity right now, but it won't last. Ethan listened. At first, casually. But then Oliver started explaining a fast-growing investment, people doubling their money, early investors already seeing massive returns, charts, numbers, screenshots. Everything looked convincing. And then came the sentence that hooks so many people. Everyone is getting in. Ethan felt something shift, curiosity, mixed with urgency. For the next few days, he couldn't stop thinking about it. What if this was real? What if this was his chance to finally break out of just comfortable and move into something bigger? He started researching, watching videos, reading articles. But here's the thing about confirmation bias. When you want something to be true, you only see what supports it. Every positive review felt like proof. Every success story felt like validation. The doubts, he ignored them. They're just being negative, he told himself. Then came the decision. At first, he invested a small amount, and something incredible happened. The numbers went up, fast, faster than anything he had ever experienced. In a matter of days, he saw returns that normally took months, even years. That was the moment everything changed, because success, especially fast success, is addictive. Ethan started thinking differently. If I made this much with a small amount, imagine what I could make with more. So he added more, then even more. Until one day, he made the decision that would define everything. He put in almost all of his savings, not some, not half, almost everything. Because in his mind, this wasn't risk anymore, this was certainty. That night, he went to sleep feeling excited. For the first time in years, he felt like he was on the edge of something big, something life-changing. He imagined the future, a bigger home, financial freedom, no more limits. He believed he had finally figured it out. The next morning, everything was gone. The platform wouldn't load. The app crashed. Messages flooded in, people panicking, confused, desperate. Within hours, the truth became clear. It wasn't an opportunity, it was a trap, a perfectly designed illusion, and Ethan had fallen for it. In one day, his savings disappeared. Years of work, gone, not reduced, not damaged, gone. The silence that followed was the hardest part. No notifications, no updates, no way to fix it. Just reality, heavy, quiet, unavoidable. Ethan sat there, staring at his screen, hoping it was a mistake, refreshing again and again, but nothing changed because sometimes one decision doesn't just cost money, it costs time, energy, trust, confidence. The hardest lesson wasn't losing the money, it was realizing why it happened. It wasn't bad luck, it wasn't timing, it was a lack of understanding. Ethan had made a mistake that many people make, but few talk about. He put everything in one place. He didn't diversify, he didn't manage risk, he didn't prepare for loss because he believed it wouldn't happen to him. Here's the truth most people ignore. The faster something grows, the more carefully you should question it. The easier it looks, the more dangerous it can be. And the moment you feel certain, that's often the moment you're most vulnerable. Ethan's story didn't end there. Slowly, painfully, he started again. Smaller steps, safer decisions. This time, he didn't chase fast money. He focused on stable growth. He diversified his investments. He built an emergency fund again. And most importantly, he respected risk, because real wealth isn't built on excitement. It's built on patience, discipline, and protection. So before you make your next financial decision, ask yourself this: are you investing or are you gambling? Are you thinking long-term or chasing something fast? And most importantly, if everything disappeared tomorrow, would you survive? Because the goal isn't just to make money, it's to keep it, to protect it, to grow it slowly, safely, intelligently. If this story made you think, even for a moment, then it did its job, because sometimes the most expensive lessons are the ones we could have avoided. Subscribe to Money Theory for more real stories that change how you think about money. And remember, it only takes one decision to change everything.